Some folks might think that creating a welcoming learning environment is a nice to have or an idea meant for primary classrooms. In actuality, a welcoming learning environment is a must-have for learners of all ages, including adults. Here's why. Neurologically, our cognition is impacted by how welcome we feel in a space. Now, most schools consider themselves to be welcoming places, but here are a few real-life examples when schools are not. Number 1, teachers and classmates repeatedly mispronounce my name, even after being corrected multiple times. Message communicated: a core part of my identity is not deemed important or worth learning. Number 2, teachers repeatedly mistake me for another student of the same ethnicity. Message communicated: I'm being considered interchangeable with others who are of the same ethnic background. I'm not being seen or valued as an individual. Number 3, being asked, "What are you? Where are you from?" Message communicated: my background requires explanation so that you can place me in a cultural hierarchy and treat me accordingly. And here's a final example. When a student has expressed instances of mistreatment, especially in the form of a micro or macroaggression, they might receive a response that goes something like this. I know that teacher meant well. I've never heard of anyone else claiming that she was insensitive. Message communicated: the credibility and validity of my feelings are being denied because my experience is not common or familiar to you. While comments like this are not intended to cause harm, these coded messages tell the recipients that they do not belong, that their full humanity is not recognized or valued, or that they are being relegated to an inferior status. Unchecked, these messages enact a daily emotional toll on learners. But what does emotion have to do with learning anyway? Everything. Repeatedly experiencing emotions like hurt, anger, grief, this amounts to chronic stress, which stifles learning and negatively impacts memory and performance. In addition, these experiences train our brain to expect negative outcomes in the future. Here's another example to show how this chain of event works. A teacher asks a student to speak about a topic as a representative of their race or gender or some other form of identity. Something like, so how do Black people feel about XYZ? Or what do girls think about blah, blah, blah? Message communicated: I am being regarded as part of an identity monolith, void of independent thinking and unique experiences. So now the student feels stress and anger, which impacts their working memory, which in turn impacts their ability to problem solve. And the student might cope with this stress by trying to suppress their upset or avoid that classroom or disengage from the learning environment. Instead of that classroom feeling like a place of opportunity, it feels like a place of oppression. Here's the thing. Yes, unwelcoming environments impose a cognitive cost to the learner, but there is also a cost to the teacher. As a teacher, when I'm not welcoming students as their full, authentic selves, I'm perceiving their difference as a problem instead of as an asset, their variability as an obstacle rather than a gift. I'm failing to recognize the brilliance present in every learner. Being welcoming isn't about convincing students to learn our way. It's about creating spaces that invite students to learn their way. In the rest of this mini module, we offer several exercises, tools, and resources for people to consider how welcoming their learning environment might be. What does it mean to welcome learners as their full authentic selves in your context? Take time to sit with the reflection questions, engage in community discussions, and remember that communities are only as equitable as the most marginalized members feel.